Episode 5.
Nope, 4.
Well, actually, this is going to be episode 4. So, Back Alley Smoke Show, we're back with the usual, you know. It's a nice cold, you know, getting ready for Thanksgiving. It's feeling nice where we can actually wear jackets. Jay, that's a sharp jacket. Did I get you that one or no?
No, but you do have one that looks very similar to it. It's a funny story for this
I'm
jacket.
envious for you and Aaron right now because y'all both have the cool leather and I'm just over here in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know? So tell me the story on that.
Oh, I was scrolling through, I think, Facebook or Instagram, and I was just in the middle of the night. I just you know, I scroll sometimes, can't sleep, and you're just like, terrible habit to just be scrolling like that. And I was just I was like, I want a leather jacket. I saw this ad for a leather jacket, and I was like, you know, I'm not even gonna double check anything about it, make sure it's good or nothing. I just like clicked on the app. My credit card information was already in there because, you know, it's
that's a real dangerous thing to have your credit card ready to go.
It's just ready to go. You just click, okay, boom, spontaneous buy.
And a lot of times you're like laying in bed. Like, like it's already like probably 2 hours past when you should have gone to bed, so that fatigue is really hitting in and making these irrational decisions.
So that's how I got this jacket. You know,
I think we got the same exact one.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
How much did you spend on yours?
I think it was like $90, something like that.
90? I think I spent like almost $200.
I don't know. I could have spent more. I don't remember. It was a couple years ago.
You ready to hear how much I spent on this one?
How much? Probably a lot.
No, I think you spent what, $50?
Yeah, about $50.
What? That's a nice jacket for $50.
Wear at Ross, right?
Yeah, we gotta shop at Ross for anything leather because this is a designer jacket. This was a blue jacket,
dude,
spelled with an X.
Yeah,
nice.
I remember I was with you and you got a compliment. You know?
It was like 160. Yeah, I got a compliment the first day I got it from it was a dude, not a girl, but still.
Hey, compliment's a compliment.
Take them how you get them, and then not only that.
That's where most of the compliments come from, to be honest.
Man.
Yeah, because like
fellow dudes supporting
the girls. The girls don't give a shit about men's, you know, self-esteem.
You ever see that meme where it's like a woman? It shows like a woman getting like her 20th compliment of the day, and she's just like tired of it. And then it's like a dude.
She's like, I've been nothing but catcalled all day.
Yeah, and then it's like a dude who's still holding on to that compliment he got like 5 years ago from his grandma.
Yeah,
it's like,
dude, I still have a compliment that it was like when I was in high school, dude, and I remember the dude and everything. And I don't want to say his name because honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm friends with him on Facebook. But let's just say Seth, but not my grade, Seth, the grade above me.
Okay.
He said something about you have the straightest teeth, and I remember his teeth were always fucked up. And so I was like, it's kind of fucked up to like think like, of course, to be straight compared to yours, you know, but like. I took that compliment, jealous. Dude. I took that compliment and I fucking ran with it for like years to come. I still think about it sometimes. You know, I'm just like, damn, I do got some straight teeth.
You do have straight teeth because you never had braces.
Never had braces.
You know how my teeth came in so crooked. I have teeth as bad as Bethany, but Bethany never got braces. Unfortunate for her. Yeah. And like the only tooth that I have that's like messed up now is this bottom one right here. It's out a little bit.
Yeah.
And even that's not too bad. Because some people have offset teeth. Have you ever looked at Will Ferrell's teeth? And like Jordan Peterson,
or what's his face? Freaking Tom Cruise, straight teeth, but he's got that one that's like lined up with the middle.
No. You see, Tom Cruise has straight teeth. He has perfect teeth. He's got a perfect jawline. It's literally his skeleton and his nose and his face. And his eyes
I'm just saying,
that is offset.
If you have like, you know. Have you seen that, Micah, with the Tom Cruise's tooth lining up with his nose? It's just interesting as all. Like, if you look at it, you're like, holy crap.
His side front tooth lines up perfectly with his straight nose.
Yeah, and it's like...
The only thing bad that's going for Tom Cruise has to be probably his height and then Scientology.
Yeah, but he's gone past it. You know, he's gone past his height, you know, as far as like...
Oh, yeah, dude, he's a humongous movie star.
Yeah.
Worth so much money.
It's him and The Rock.
He's a short king.
Yeah, him and The Rock are pretty much like the all-time... And I'm not saying The Rock is a great actor. It's just in terms of gross pay, like...
Yeah, The Rock is the highest paid actor.
Yeah. Dude, he's in every...
Well, that's because he just shows up in any movie.
He's the same person in every single movie. He's The Rock. I don't even think he can really change up his name because people are just going to say, oh, The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think... even in Fast and the Furious, I think people still refer to him as The Rock.
Yeah,
because I don't remember his name.
I guess like Black Adam, like he was his newest movies, and I haven't seen it, but if I watch it,
The Rock,
it's just gonna be The Rock. You know, I
Rock
don't
with a
call him
hoodie.
Black Adam. It's just The Rock.
The Rock that can fly now.
Yeah. Oh man, The Rock was just doing some crazy stuff in that movie. And that's I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I was talking about teeth back. At that subject, Mila. Sometimes since her molars are coming in now, the way she smiles is beautiful. Obviously, I love my little baby girl's smile, but there's sometimes where she'll smile with her mouth open, and it reminds me of Iron Giant. You remember when Iron Giant was eating? It is like those big teeth at the bottom, and I'm just like, damn, I got a little Iron Giant little baby. I gotta find the video. I'll show you. Comparison, and maybe you could see it. Next time you look.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's been so long since I've seen the Iron Giant. I know
that was my favorite movie growing up.
There's a video game you can play as the Iron Giant in now.
Yeah, it's
Really?
Multiverse. Yeah, it's like Super Smash Bros. But like,
by the way,
it's
like
different characters.
No, it's like
a brawl
it's
game.
like a Tekken.
Yeah, like you ever play Super Smash Bros?
It's like Super Smash Bros, but
like
2D.
It's a 2D thing.
version.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Well, they need to make a.
And Iron Giant's really big, but it's like.
I bet you could get a mod. They need to make a mod for Grand Theft Auto for.
I'm sure somebody's done that.
Dude, it'd be so dope.
I
like to see the gorilla just flipping cars.
Yeah, that's cool, but Iron Giant would be so much cooler.
And I see Spider-Man pushing cars off of buildings and hitting like girls in bikinis, and they fall down the ramps.
I just remember the toilet paper scene where he's just like like messing with it with his finger and just like got all the toilet paper unrolled and he can't roll it back up.
Yeah. Dude, that's nostalgic. I kind of want to watch that with Mila when she gets a little older. She can actually like talk.
That's something cool that you can do as a parent now is you can like kind of relive certain like core childhood memories
the
or
same
something.
way how much joy Dad gets in showing movies he's seen it 5 or 6 times and he's like gets to show us. I get to have that experience now.
Well, guess what? I don't even have that experience of showing somebody else a movie, but I relive that experience by watching people watch movies that I enjoy and getting that gratification.
Oh, just on YouTube?
Yeah, just regular reactions.
I watch reactions.
And I don't share them with like.
I feel like it's more meaningful.
It's not as nostalgic.
Yeah,
it's not as meaningful as like passing it on to like as an heirloom to a child, and that like a passing.
But sometimes
yourself.
it scratches a little itch.
No. I think chemically imbalances in my brain. I get the same triggers of hormones as doing that. Like something chemically happens in my mind as I watch somebody else react to like John Wick or Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
That's why reaction videos
or Robin Hood or anything like that.
It's for a reason, I think.
Yeah, because it's like you get to see something.
It's a sense of relatability. That's really
it's
what
like
it is.
You can never experience something again for the first time. Like a lot of people, like Lord of the Rings. I would love to watch that movie again for like the first time, just first experience, like not knowing anything about it, just to see it, like what it's like. Because like I watched the movie so young, I don't even remember my first time seeing it.
You know what sucks is as much of an appreciation as I have for the Lord of the Rings. It's like I don't feel like I was able. My first time was wasted watching that because although I saw it and it looked kind of cool as a kid, I never saw it to its full experience as an adult. As watching it as an adult for the first time.
Yeah.
So I never had that experience. So seeing other people do that, I'm a little envious. But as a kid, like. I just remember Sauron's helmet looked cool, and the eye looked cool, and then Frodo got stabbed, and then like
I remember the spider scene always freaked me out as a kid, where he's like going away.
But it's honestly,
I never saw the spider scene as a kid.
It's more magical to watch it as a kid, not fully understand it, than to watch it as an adult, knowing the things like. Imagine watching a movie and you didn't understand CGI yet. You didn't even know that it was CGI. You didn't know what was CGI. Like you had no premise to how they might have done the behind the scenes creation of that movie, and as an adult now you've seen enough that it's like, oh okay, I know how they do it. Your mind like perceives different things. It's like digesting in a different way. You're breaking down the movie in a whole different way than you were as a kid, and so it's honestly
you're much more critical of it too.
Yeah, you're much more critical as an adult. So sometimes even if you were to watch it now for the first time, you wouldn't have got the same feeling that you would have as a kid, not fully understanding it, because just the magic of like, wow, I've never seen this, like nothing like this before. Yeah, and that's how I remember.
I don't know. When I saw my first time watching the new Top Gun movie, I thought that thing was crazy.
The new Top Gun, obviously, but But I'm just saying, like, for the movies that are, like, so nostalgic in our childhood, you go back to them and you can realize how, like, you can kind of compare from what the quality of movies are being made now versus those. And even though it was magical to as a kid, you know, having the comparison to the technology we have in movie creation now versus then, you could be very critical at it. Even though the Top Gun is great because how far we've come along with camera angles and everything else, and like just the camera like
quality and like the amount of pixels that it just picks up.
That's why we love that, because it's a new movie, new premise to some degree. Obviously, it's not a sequel, but it is a sequel. Yeah, but it's got a totally different plot than the original. But it's like that is so good because of the fact that like it's
just the production value.
It's just a good production value. But like some of the other movies that we watched as a kid will always be, you know, subpar in comparison to the quality, but it will still have a place in our heart because of the content.
Did you know that the Su-57s, the MiGs that were in that movie, all of those MiGs were filmed with one F-18 Hornet.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, one F-18 Hornet and a CGI dude that like turned them into MiGs and like copied and pasted them in different places.
I thought in the first movie they did that.
No.
I know they did something similar in the first movie.
No, in the first one they did. Yeah, in the second one, because the first one they never even had MiGs. The first one, it was like an American plane as like the enemy plane, but it was just a trainer jet that they used as the enemy plane. It didn't even make sense.
What is it?
No, they put the dudes with 10 advisors and they made them look evil.
Yeah, what is it in the first movie?
Like the Sith, you know,
yeah, pretty much.
Fighters. That's what they look like.
Yeah, just all enemy nations all have sunglass visors.
Even in the second one, they had like
they just want polarized. Like how are they always enemies just because they don't want the sun in their eyes?
Yeah,
you know?
Like, they didn't want to show the color skin of the person flying or the Asian eyes.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah. Anyway, also in the first movie, they had one shot of a missile. Like one shot of a missile shooting out, and they just recycled that same shot over and over, flipping the angles of it, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, because they could only afford to do it once.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And missiles are expensive.
They are pretty expensive, but I don't understand why you couldn't do like some pyro, you know, in like
that's just how they
firework kind of stuff, because the fireworks in my opinion are kind of cooler than rockets in some degree in the visual effect. So they could have totally recreated that if they really wanted to.
I mean, it depends. I mean, you know, they made the movie. I feel like they did a pretty good job of it.
And then on top of that, they had the F-14 Tomcat, and the F-14 Tomcat was retired because it was such an expensive jet that the Navy didn't want to keep on going with maintenance. So, like, they literally had, like, one of the most expensive jets at the time, like, filming the first one. And then the second one, well, that F-14 at the end was never even flown.
Really?
Yeah, that F-14 was a static airplane. They made it look like it was flying in the air. They just did a bunch of cockpit scenes and then did CGI and stuff, and then all the MiGs were just literally one F-18 Hornet.
Gotcha.
Damn.
And they made it look convincing.
Mm-hmm.
They made it really convincing, yeah.
I don't know, this is both great movies.
Yeah, super great. So tell me, you saw the Black Panther today.
Oh, it was fantastic.
I mean, no spoilers, obviously, because it's such a new movie, but, like, how does it compare to the first one?
So my one thing that I wish, because I thought it was a fantastic sequel. I thought they handled everything really well with Chadwick Boseman's passing. You know, because he was the star of the first movie. You know what I mean? Like, you just have a sequel pick up, and it's like you don't have the actor anymore. But the one thing I wish was that the soundtrack was done by Kendrick Lamar like the first movie was.
Yeah.
That would have been the thing that would have like put it on the edge. But I still thought it had a freaking good soundtrack though, and it had fantastic visuals.
Good hip hop.
Yeah, a little bit of hip hop. It wasn't like too much hip hop for the soundtrack. I feel like the visuals were like fantastic though, like the different like shots and everything. I remember like with the first Black Panther, one of the biggest complaints people had was the CGI for the last fight scene was like really rushed, like by the visual effects artists. So it looked, if you look at it, it looks kind of almost like a PS2 like cutscene. You know what I mean? Like inserted shots.
Those PS2 cutscenes looked like movies, Jaden.
That's true. But then anyway, so people had complaints about that, but I couldn't find any like weird, funky things with the visual effects. At least not with my first viewing. Like I thought it just looked like great. And there was like some, I don't want to spoil anything, but it was just some trippy shit going on magic wise too.
You know the couple. Speaking of cutscenes from PS2, some of my favorite cutscenes were from the PS2. The Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi cutscene.
Oh yeah, all the Dragon Ball.
No, but the Dragon Ball Tenkaichi was my favorite. The 1 and 2 was arguably the best Dragon Ball Z video games ever put out. Were on the PS2. And
in some way they were better than the show in some of the cutscenes.
They were better than the show. They were better than the game even. And then the games themselves, like you had more characters to unlock before they came out with Dragon, like the Super Saiyan Blue and all that other stuff. This was back when Super Saiyan 4 from GT was cool, and then like Super Saiyan 3 and up to the Buu Saga. They had all that stuff. But the Tenkaichi 2, I remember playing. I never owned that game, but I played it. A buddy of mine had it at his house, and it was like the last sleepover I ever did as a kid. And I went over there, and I remember he brought that game, and they had a PS2, and they had like the grade 8 transformations. They had like all these other things. You could be monkeys fighting. They didn't have the weird story plot of like future Trunks doing the timeline stuff, so it was actually cooler than the new games, because the new games completely lost the plot. This was the last really good Budokai game. It was on the PS2, and it didn't even have that bad of graphics. And then the other game that had the best cutscene graphics was first of all, one cutscene graphics for the episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was literally clips of the movie before it was before it was even in the theaters. It had clips of the movie, so I literally knew the plot of episode 3 because I played the video game and I got to see it.
That's insane.
That's a pretty big Easter egg.
Yeah,
and then
it's like with episode 9 of Star Wars, they literally announced Palpatine's return in episode 9 in a Fortnite like scene, like literally like Fortnite. How like an event where Palpatine like announced.
No, it was much cooler. I was literally Anakin fighting Obi-Wan in the video game before the movie came out.
Wow.
And then you got to play as Darth Vader, and you could have like the blue lightsaber Darth Vader or the red lightsaber Darth Vader. I don't know how that makes sense, but you could do that.
I mean, that sounds
then you could choke people. You felt the Force. And then another Star Wars video game on the PS2 was the Bounty Hunter game with Jango Fett.
Oh, I remember that one.
And that one was like really cool because you got to like the cutscenes in that one. They weren't like real life, but like it gave you like real in-depth feel. And it was like
it's really getting me nostalgic for like video games and stuff we played as a kid.
PS2 is probably the best system that ever came out. Like besides
technically,
like all the new stuff.
It's like it obviously got better technically, but the nostalgia and like the games and stuff.
Yeah, the quality of games has gone down.
You remember that truck game that we would play together, and even that game where it was like you drive Hummers and stuff, and like
it wasn't a Hummer, it was Escalade.
Oh yeah, kind of like Escalade. Yeah.
God, it was Need for Speed, but it was Need for Speed
Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. I remember putting the neon in there, dude. I thought I was such a gangbanger in that thing, but that's really what I wanted. I put every single fender upgrade that you could possibly put on this Escalade, dropped it down, put neon.
Do you remember
lights
that game? We played that when Dad was living with Red.
Yeah. New Braunfels.
I remember that. I remember I was sitting next to
I remember that toilet was the most disgusting toilet I've ever seen.
The shower, I didn't want to take a shower.
Yeah.
The whole weekend I didn't want to take a shower because it looked so nasty, dude.
But I love playing on that.
Yeah, but all I wanted to do was play that game.
I remember that's where I learned the phrase like "pimp something out" was literally you like talking about how you're pimping out your vehicle.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to really use. I mean, I guess I used it in the right context, but I was such a young kid too. Yeah. I was like maybe overusing.
And then you remember Burnout on the PSPs?
Yeah, dude, dude, that's one game that I was like low key like freaking G in. Like if I could,
I loved crashing.
If I could Twitch
big crashes, just trying to get the dollar box.
I'm not as good at video games as I was as a kid, but if I could have Twitched or like had some sort of like clip where I could like show some of my highlights, dude, Burnout was some of my best driving that I've ever done. And then the PSP was so before its time. The Nintendo Switch, for the technology that's out there now is great, and like technology's great, but like the PSP for that time
was
better than anything, dude. It was like it beat phones. I didn't even need a phone to text girls or anything like that. Shoot, give me my PSP, put the covers over it. Like, it was better than the Game Boy. Like, dude, that was the first time.
It had real clicky triggers.
Oh, I love
analog sticks on it. It had
the first time you were able to put internet on your thing.
You can make your own custom background.
Yeah, you make your own custom background. You could plug it into a PS3. I thought that was so cool. Also, that was the only thing I was able to stream porn as a kid, dude. Was my fucking PSP. It was like amazing.
It was really slow because you were always connected to like elementary school Wi-Fi.
There was only 2.
You're in elementary school. Wow.
There's only, and this is like such a weird like. But there was only 2 sites that you could possibly get, and there was like one that I only like was the only site I would like. That was my binger right there. Was Fucked Hard 18, and it was just, I'm telling you, it was the best. I'm telling you, it was the best. It was because it always started out with the oily massage, like, and also the girls on it were way higher, like in looks and stuff like that. They were like girls that you're just like, God damn, like they are like so fine compared to the other stuff that is like you go to RedTube and stuff like that, and they're just like, damn, this is a side of the world I don't want to see as a kid. And it's like these freaking 30-year-olds, you know, getting railed and stuff.
I remember
it was perfect because it was like all oiled up, like 20-year-olds probably. It said Fucked Hard 18. They were probably 18.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a kid,
I was like a kid, man. That was like
attractive.
the best age to watch that stuff. And then it was, dude, I still remember. I have very fond memories of that, man. It was PSP was the one that really broke me into that. You know?
Don't you remember being at the Santa Fe apartment and going in the dumpster and finding magazines?
Yeah, I found all those magazines, and I was just like, I kind of felt like I'm not supposed to see this. And then I went inside, and then I was just like, it was like tickling a part of my head, you know, and then the other head too. And so I was just like, go back down, and I was just like looking, and finally I got the nerve to just like finally bring him up to the apartment, because I took like 3 trips down to the dumpster just to look at him without grabbing him, and then eventually I was just like, I'm just gonna grab him, and then I grabbed all of them, dude, and brought it back up to Santa Fe.
I didn't even know.
I didn't even know what to do with it. I just was looking at it.
This is funny. This is my curiosity was at Santa Fe. And like I remember going on Pops' computer, and like of course he had like World of Warcraft on there, and that's like all I like to do is like ride the mounts and like run around with like little snow leopards following me as a hunter, and then
chimichangas,
and then like dude, hunters were cool too, because like if you were a night elf, man, Mr. T had those commercials, and I would always see that as I'm Mr. T, and then Ozzy Osbourne too. He's like, I'm an undead or something like that. I'm the king of the underworld or something like that. He says something like that. I don't know what he said.
Dude, Blizzard was like pretty much rock star at that time.
Yeah,
no, it was
still freaking goes hard. I mean, you even look at like,
but I mean, they went downhill. They had their peak a long time ago. But
Rockstar's the top right now.
No. Blizzard went way down.
Bethesda,
like so many people left Blizzard.
Then Bethesda with Skyrim and all that kind of stuff, and then now
they totally.
It's whenever they messed up World of Warcraft that they lost all their player base, and they did that by like literally catering to some of the easiest crowds and literally changing the level caps, making huge like. A paywall when you pay, and you could just skip all the levels. They took all like the customizations of like actual like attributes, scaling, and all that stuff, and made it to where like all characters were pretty much equal no matter what the class. And they like took the whole point of that game and like threw it down the window. And
because there was a part of that game was like the grind is what made.
And some people had stuff that only they could get from those raids, and they were like the only people on the server to have that stuff.
Aaron, here, hit it.
And
I want to bet. I don't want to skip Aaron, but like I really want it back.
That was beautiful, Aaron.
You look like something out of
dragon.
Yeah.
Some sort of...
No, but what I was gonna say is anyway, off World of Warcraft aside, when you would get off that, I remember being so curious as a kid, and like I wasn't even sophisticated. Like I didn't even know what the word porn meant. I didn't know any of that stuff. I just wanted to see like a naked lady or something like that. So I literally just typed in the 3 letters. I just went SEX on Google on my dad's computer and just clicked it. And whatever
boobs, you know?
And then whatever popped up would have popped up. And when I saw that, I thought like when I pressed enter, I thought I was the worst person in the world. I was like, and I felt like my heart was racing, and I like saw it, and I was just like, X.
Hey, speaking of the worst feeling as a kid, you know, I thought I was never gonna go back. It's like, oh God, if only I could look into the future as a kid and realize how much dumb shit and drugs and stuff that I did. Dude, I remember being left in the car while Dad went into the post office, and I had just finished a lollipop, dude. I had the fucking, just the stick of it, right? And I took the cigarette lighter, I pushed it in there, I put the stick in there, just nothing to inhale, and I just took it and did that, and it went, and I was like, oh my God, what did I do, you know?
Not even on fire.
I didn't inhale anything. And I was like, there's no going back, you know? Like, what did I do?
That was your first
there was the most remorse that I've ever felt as a kid with that right there.
You getting over that remorse then is probably what pushed you into doing all the other shit you've done.
Yeah, and then I remember in shop, we would roll up the brown paper towels, and I remember we had the freaking arc welder, dude. Like, we just, with the paper towel, because we didn't have lighters there, and I just on a piece of metal and put the paper towel there, and it got hot and lit up. We'd roll it up, and we'd smoke that, dude.
Do you know
just
how
to blow it out, just look like we're smoking? And Mr. Moy, my shop teacher, was so mad at us. He's like, God damn it, guys, quit doing that. You know, and it's like, we just kept on doing it.
Yeah, dude. I remember just taking like random paper towels and like rolling up little fake joints with not even grass in them, just paper towels. And then I would light the paper towels and smoke the paper towels and like burn the inside of my lungs.
It burned so bad.
It was like the worst feeling, and it was like no filter. I was pretty much inhaling.
Glad we're doing this now instead of that stupid
so
shit.
much better.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not good. Better than what we were doing.
Like, it didn't even have a good taste. It was probably way worse for my lungs.
Yeah.
It had no benefit, and it had no like drug aspect to it.
But you were addicted to it too, because I was addicted to it.
No, I did it one time. Realized it burned the inside of my.
See, I got so addicted to just smoking, like that. It was like I would roll up like notebook paper just to fucking go out in the back where the chicken coop was and just do it. I don't even know I was inhaling or anything. I was just like so addicted to that like concept of smoking. I don't understand what was wrong with my head, dude. I was like,
you still get that sometimes,
dude. I always watch those people getting like high off of like
nutmeg.
Like like keyboard cleaner and like airsoft cans and stuff like that. People would like stick like Sharpies up in their nose and stuff like that. Just breathe the Sharpies and get like almost.
I remember going to Walmart one time.
You get really lightheaded doing that, but I liked it too.
I remember going to Walmart one time, and I was just trying to buy a Sharpie for like a school project or something, and they're like, "You can't buy this. You have to be 18 or over." Yeah. And I was just like, "What the heck? I'm just trying to buy a Sharpie so I can have a Sharpie for a school project."
No, but people are really worse than that.
No, I get it.
And Sharpies smelled good to begin with. Like, I don't know. I like Sharpies. But the only thing is like, God, how much like. If only our parents just allowed us to just do drugs, we could have just done like, we could have skipped past that. I
was prescribed Adderall.
But that's different. A doctor prescribing you stuff is so different than
it was just a paid way to get like. It's no different than having your rec card now and being able to be on legal weed. You literally just got prescribed to do something that people all want to do anyway.
Yeah, and it takes the joy out of it once you can.
It stunted my growth. I weighed 80 pounds as a freshman in high school because of that stuff.
Well, you think about it, it's just prescribed meth, so
it makes sense.
I was on meth. Yeah. No wonder my teeth grew all crooked and I needed braces.
I don't think that has to do with anything. That's more smoking crack, Aaron. Smoking stuff like crack.
If you were smoking meth, that'd be different.
Yeah, because it's like all kind of.
That was the thing about Breaking Bad that was so unrealistic. Was Jesse Pinkman had perfect teeth and he was constantly hitting that freaking pipe.
No, but Wendy had messed up teeth.
Yeah, but Jesse had perfect teeth. That's the thing. Beautiful, perfect pearls. Bringing it back full circle.
Well, maybe that was the reason for the butt plug on the shelf.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen that butt plug? It's a pretty big butt plug on Jesse Pinkman's shelf. We don't know if that was for Jesse Pinkman or if it was for the girls that he was bringing back to his house. But
yeah, who knows? Who knows?